Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the miracles of the Prophet Muhammad as recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari, in Sahih Muslim. Now, what is the most authentic or authoritative source of Orthodox Islam? Would be after the Quran, would be Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim went through a lot of trouble to compile hadith and make sure these hadith are as authentically reported as possible. So Bukhari and Muslim collected earlier books in hadith from the first three generations, and they wrote down hadith. So all these hadith can be traced all the way back to people like Anas, or people like Anas bin Malik, etc., or people like Imran, etc., all the disciples of the Prophet Muhammad who were eyewitnesses to his ministry in Arabia. So let's look at the first. So my point is Bukhari and Muslim are the most authentic biographies, or the most authentic sources of Orthodox Islam to learn about the Prophet Muhammad. Let's look at the first miracle. The first miracle is found in Sahih al-Bukhari 6093, where it says that a man came to the Prophet on the Friday, and the Prophet, was delivering a sermon in Medina, and said, "There is a lack of rain, so please invoke your Lord to bless us with rain." The Prophet looked at the sky with no cloud to be detected. Then he invoked Allah for rain. Clouds started gathering together, and it rained till Medina's valleys started overflowing with water. It continued raining until next Friday. Then the Prophet and some other man stood up to the Prophet while the Prophet was delivering a Friday sermon and said, "We are drowned. Please invoke our Lord, your Lord, to withhold it rain from us." The Prophet smiled and said twice or thrice, "O Allah, please let it rain about us, around about us, and not upon us." The clouds started dispensing over Medina to the right and to the left, and it rained around Medina and not upon Medina. Allah showed them this is the important part. Allah showed them the people the miracle of his Prophet in his response to his innovation. So when the Prophet Muhammad wanted it to rain, God, or Allah, showed them the miracle showed them the people the miracle of the Prophet in response to his innovation. So the Prophet Muhammad's prayers were immediately answered, and Allah, or God, made it rain on the people of Medina when there was some kind of drought. So this is the first miracle, is that the Prophet Muhammad was God answered Prophet Muhammad's prayer immediately and made it rain. It said Allah showed them the people the miracle of his Prophet in his response to his innovation. So that's the first miracle. Let's go to the second miracle. It says, narrated, Anas bin Malik said, Asr prayer was due, and the people searched for water to perform ablution, but could not find it. Later, part of the pot ablution was brought to Allah's apostle. He put his hand on the pot, ordered the people to perform ablution in it. I saw water springing from underneath. From underneath his fingers, and performed ablution. It was one of the miracles of the Prophet. So Anas bin Malik, who was one of the disciples or companions of the Prophet Muhammad, who was an eyewitness to Prophet Muhammad's ministry, saw the miracle of the Prophet. It says it was one of the miracles of the Prophet. So the Prophet Muhammad was able to supernaturally provide water for wudu, or for ritual cleaning before prayer. Third miracle, Anas reported the people of Makkah demanded Allah's messenger that he should show them some signs and miracles, and he showed them twice the splitting of the moon. This hadith has been narrated on authority of Anas to another chain of transmissions, and this is Sahih Muslim 2802. So there's a splitting of the moon. It's reported, narrated by Anas, that the people requested Allah's messenger to show them a miracle, and so he showed them the splitting of the moon. So the splitting of the moon is one of the miracles of the Prophet Muhammad. This is found in Sahih al-Bukhari 3637. Further, it says in the Quran, chapter 54, verses 1 to 2, and the moon has been cleft asunder or split in two. The people of Makkah requested the Prophet Muhammad to show them a miracle, so he showed them the splitting of the moon. And if they see a sign, they turn away. This is Quran chapter 54, verses 1 to 2. The people of Makkah asked the Prophet Muhammad to show them a miracle or a sign, so he showed them the miracle of the cleaving of the moon or splitting of the moon in Sahih Bukhari 4867. So the proper commentary or the proper historical context to the Quran chapter 54 verses 1 to 2 is the miracle of that the Prophet Muhammad showed the Meccans, the splitting of the moon, and this is in Sahih Bukhari 4867. Third miracle would be this long hadith from Sahih Bukhari 344. It says, the Prophet Muhammad asked for a potty, opened the mouths of the bags and poured some water into the potty, closed the bag, and opened small ones, and the people were called to drink upon their animals. So the animals, the Prophet Muhammad gave full pot of water to the person with janab and told him to pour water over his body. The woman was standing watching all there with her water. By Allah, when her water bags were returned, and looked as if they were more full of water than they had been before. A miracle of Allah's messenger. Then the Prophet ordered us to collect something for her. So dates were collected, an amount of good meal was put in a piece of cloth. She helped write food stuff. She said, we had not taken water, but Allah has given us water. So a strange thing. Two men met, and the man who was called Sahabi did something interesting. By Allah, he is either the greatest magician between this in this, gathering her middle fingers between the sky, indicating the heaven and the earth, or he is Allah's true apostle. So the Prophet Muhammad was able to supernaturally multiply water and food for this woman. And again, this is found in Sahih Bukhari 344. So these are just some of the miracles found in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim that the Prophet Muhammad performed in front of eyewitnesses, in front of not only his disciples or his companions, but and other non-Muslim people were able, or the pagans were able to see his miracles, like the splitting of the moon or the multiplying of food and water, or Prophet Muhammad supernaturally providing water from his hands for ablution or ritual cleansing before prayer, the Muslim prayer. So the Prophet Muhammad performed miracles according to Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. All these hadith are from Sahih Bukhari, except this one. This one's from Sahih Muslim. So the Prophet Muhammad performed miracles according to the most authentic sources of Islam, which is Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Stay tuned. More miracles and prophecies of the Prophet Muhammad, or proofs of prophethood, including miracles and prophecies of the Prophet Muhammad, are coming soon, or videos about those two topics coming soon.